Oh, here comes the rain.
Oh yeah. Put a fair bit of work in. Yeah. Oh, well, because they're not making the defender anymore. Yeah. See you, honey.
What if you have your door, like, if you like close it out and a chicken just jumps into your car?
Chicken.
So I got the hiking permit. This was for 7 people, $35.
I wouldn't be surprised if I get some video.
Stop trying to attack me!
Sorry.
That was
Killer
weird.
leaf. It's a killer leaf.
I don't think these guys know where they're going.
It's a killer leaf. It's a boomerang.
I haven't.
Where are you guys trying to go?
We doesn't know it's parking only here?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, only here.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, so-
up here is the Arboretum.
Ah, okay, thank you.
Random jobs.
Wow. Huge tree.
It's a huge tree. I was one of them. I was like, one of them was like, what would have happened?
Disgusting one.
And he's like, besides the troubles with aerodynamics, it would be very confusing why you want to have a weapon so if you miss your target to come back and kill
Oh, there he is. It's a white rumped shama. He went around the backside of that tree.
a white witch.
White rumped shama. He landed right up there somewhere. Hear him? So those birds are from India.
Like if you're on a flat foot, like if you want to move and get it around, just throw it and then
They're really talkative.
Bashing right through this thing.
Maybe I should. Oh, he just flew. There he goes. Did you see the white patch on his back?
Yep. The falls.
Nah, the falls is still a mile away.
Oh, is it? It's actually the river from
Yeah.
the falls.
Yeah, there's a river over here to the right. And then there's an arboretum up here.
Where they're building the Triffids. What? Haven't you read that book, The Day of the Triffids?
Wow.
It's a high school staple. They have the bamboo Triffids are these plants that landed on
Walking sticks.
Earth, and the people of Earth decided to keep them because
the warmer jump.
solve the world fuel crisis. The problem is that Triffids A can move and B are meat eaters. And they grow to like 10 or 12 foot tall and they have a stinging whip thing they can sting you with. It's a sci-fi movie. It's a sci-fi. It's a novel. But the BBC did a pretty good adaptation of it a while back. Yeah. They grow them in big farms where they're contained electrically and then something happens and they all escape and then they're out, you know, essentially eating any time. Thank you.
Now she says,
Can I place this water like in this tank? Huh?
huh?
Can I place this water in this tank?
Sure.
Oh,
Make sure it's tight in.
cockatoos.
Yeah. Everywhere.
Could have used this going up Cocoa Crater one.
You guys want to wait up just a little bit for these two back here?
Okay.
Oh, there's a shama bird on the door on the right.
What's up there?
So it's a white rump shama.
Hey, you don't even need to worry about it rusting out.
Papa.
Let me get my shoelace muddy. Some of these people need to be wet.
Not only wet, very muddy. Get off the trail, I reckon.
Yeah, we got the hiking permit from the Na'alahele trail system.
Yep.
And they have 34 trails,
Wow.
but the hiking permit will allow us to go on 7 of their trails. And so right now I'm offering 2 trails, this one
Yep.
and then another one that's at the top of the mountain.
Yeah, right.
So that one up there is less crowded and really quiet,
Yeah, right.
and it has views of like Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, right. Hey, you two, sticks down.
You can put somebody's eye
Keep
out.
yourself away from other humans. You just damage each other. Damage our amazing guides. You will be lost forever. Never to be seen again after your 3-hour tour.
I've gotten lost in here one time at night.
Yeah, that doesn't help our situation. I have a torch. It's called my phone torch.
This was before they had phones.
Back in the day, we used to have to walk to school for like 3 hours, like 100 miles in bare feet in the snow.
You have to walk uphill both ways.
So this was before cell phones, and we hiked up to the top and watched the sunset from the top.
Ah,
Yeah, and then we had to hike down in the dark with no lights on a trail that's switchbacks on the side of the mountain,
Yep.
with, you know, like 1,000-foot drops.
1,000-foot drop. That's a long way.
And then there was an intersection down here that every time we came to that intersection, we would go the wrong direction. And we did it like 7 times, and finally we were like, well, let's try going the other direction this time.
You just grab a stick and wave it around like a blind man and hope you don't hit someone in the process. Or just become Superman and fly out.
Oh, it's a Japanese cedar.
It looks like a tree to me. Land or the wall?
Bamboo, probably.
Like these ones that we just get on the side.
Yeah.
Pick up your feet.
It's going to hop back into my foot. No, my ankle. You want to switch? No. Whoa, look at that. It looks so smooth. No. You want to switch? From the big splash stick. Oh yeah, we got stuck. We're having to like scoot down.
Yeah, it was like this flat.
Yeah, it was like real flat. I was halfway through it, but it's so long.
I told you you were gonna have to pull him with the sticks.
We did. It's too hard. Allison could barely lift. I was struggling out there trying not to die. And Allison over here.
So what did we learn? Work out.
Not before, like I was just
Oh, there's a whole little step stair on that side. Hold on, guys, breathe. I don't know where Dad's at.
You're right there.
Behind me?
Yeah, you're going there.
Alright. Keep going there.
So here's those orange flowers from the African tulips.
Yeah, wow.
Wow.
Acorns. Lovely Jesus, acorns. Stop slapping me. I don't know where we're going because I'm concentrating on my feet.
What do you see in there?
Hello? Well, we're hiking, so probably not. You'll just have to go live on Facebook. And it's also raining, so it's raining. So let's do it on Facebook and I'll catch it. Alright, bye.
It gets pretty steep.
Yeah, one of the unexpected.
Yeah. Oh, I got my stair goal. 10 levels.
Oh, this is, you've already done 10 levels of stairs so far? Hey Harley, what's your step count at?
6,500.
Careful that you don't slip going down.
Mi mamá corriente que me choque.
I've got my staggle. I've got my staggle.
So the trail used to go that way through that archway right there. So that would make it like a really cool place to pose for a picture. But they've got it going this way now.
I'm trying not to trip.
Really get up in the clouds, eh?
Not really. We're in a valley. The clouds are just close to us.
Bamboo's pretty strong.
Yep.
Sure is. Tried to break it and then not strong.
There's the waterfall.
can be rough going back down.
You think? We're gonna keep going. What do you want to do? You want to keep on a minute there? A lot of people coming on traffic. We're almost there. Oh my God. It's really coming down now.
Let's pretend we're doing the Hawaiian Ironman.
Where does the trail go up to?
Just to the bottom of the waterfall.
Oh, okay.
I see the top. See the waterfall.
So there's another trail here that goes up to the top of the mountain, the Aihualama Trail. So we're here. So we just did this. The falls is here, and then there's another trail that goes to the top of the mountain and then to a lookout. The other trail that I have is this one here, the Kalawahine Trail. So you drive up the mountain to about 1,100 feet, and we start there, and then it just goes straight back. Pretty much no elevation gain.
You should drop people off one and get them to do a circuit and pick them up the other end.
The trail that connects them, we don't have a permit for.
Oh, okay.
We're trying to convince them to allow us on that trail as well.
It's like you have to convince these people to do anything you're not.
Right.
Bà bác mua anh đem cái gốc rồi. I don't want you taking it.
Well, I'm gonna get a picture with you.
That's a sign.
Yeah, so we're not allowed to go past the wall because you see those boulders down there? When it rains, those boulders fall from the top.
Yep.
And people have literally died here. So yeah, all of those boulders there came from the top.
Yep.
That'd be a pretty fun slide if someone put like a top on it and then like attached it somewhere out there.
Yeah, keep playing with
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
yeah, serious tough one.
What if they had like escalator stairs but they went straight up and just held on and stood there if you left back? Voila! Molly.
I can see your chest hair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
Hi.
because I'm very handsome and
Standing
masculine.
in front of, thank you, Terry. Alright, everyone's, come on Harley, give me a smile. I am. Yeah, you know.
You gonna get you guys in there?
Yeah.
Downhill mountain bike. Go gadget. WR250.
Oh yeah, this trail over here to the right with all the switchbacks on the edge of the cliff. We used to hike up to the top, and then when we would run down,
Yep.
it was like the easiest way to get down.
Yep.
It was almost like you were flying, and
Easier than walking.
just every once in a while your feet would touch the ground in order to guide which direction you were flying.
So we did the Inca Trail in Peru.
Yeah, we're about to do that.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Anyway, I ran a lot of that. Same principle. Like just run the downs.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, me and my brothers want to do that.
I definitely recommend it. Make sure you do the whole trail.
We've been planning it
4 days or
since before COVID, and you know everything got canceled.
So we flew into Ecuador, and then we caught 52 buses from Ecuador to Argentina.
Oh my God!
So over 12 weeks.
To Argentina.
Yep, all the way down the coast, west coast, all the way down, so in Peru, and then up into Bolivia, across the Salar de Uyuni. 12?
I went to Chile in 2019, I think, for the solar eclipse.
Yep.
And flew into Santiago and then drove all the way up to like just the bottom of the Atacama Desert.
Yep. Up
to-
that. Up, straight.
Well, I was along the coast.
Yeah,
I was at the town of La Serena.
Yeah, but is the above La Serena, isn't that the road that's like?
Yeah, Vicuña. It goes up to where the observatories are.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah, I drove back to Vicuña too.
Yeah, right. That's yeah, it's a great place. That's 2008.
So I don't know if it was because they knew that a lot of people were going to be coming for the eclipse, but it seems like they had just graded all of the dirt roads.
Yeah, right.
And so they were like really easy to drive on.
Yeah, right.
And I had a rental car that,
Wow.
you know how you treat rental cars, you know?
Yeah, they're the first fastest cars in the world after company cars.
So I had a lot of fun driving that rental car on those dirt roads. When I turned it back in, the front license plate was tore off from driving through a river.
Yeah, right. Wow.
There was a crossing on the road where the water was about 3 feet deep.
Yes.
And I was like, well, should I go slow or should I go fast? Well, let's try going fast.
It's a hiker.
And it made a wave that came all the way over the roof of the car.
Yep.
And then I stopped on the side of the road to buy some snacks that people were selling.
Yep.
And they were like, hey, your front license plate's missing. It was hanging. It was by one by one screw.
Yep. I'm gonna do that when we get home. You know,
When I turned the car back in, the guy just looked at it and shrugged his shoulders and then just handed me the paper. All right, go ahead.
see you later.
I don't think he wanted to bother with filing a report.
Okay, so I would have screwed that back on.
Well, they do insurance now in Australia per day. There's no excess. So people are just like, they're like, you pay you extra $5 or $10 a day, and it's no excess. So there's no question when you drop the rental back.
Oh,
It doesn't matter if there's damage.
oh yeah,
So the insurance pays for all of it.
that's funny.
And there's no excess. Like there's no $1,000 or $500. It's just $5 a day. You want the excess zero? Yep, great. Pay that.
just last night I was watching a reel on Instagram where this guy was saying, yeah, you can get a rental car that has like 100 miles on it, and you can total it.
Yep.
You pay $11 for the insurance, and then you can just total it.
Yep. That's it. Yep.
Park it on a railroad track.
Yeah, well, that won't last long, but yes, you can currently do that. Yeah, I can recommend the West Coast of South America.
Yeah.
Particularly if you've got a little bit of Spanish.
Yeah, I've done from Santiago up to the Atacama Desert.
Yeah.
But yeah, me and my brothers, we want to go to Machu Picchu. And then my one brother wants to go to that place in Bolivia that has those stones that are so close together you can't fit a razor between them.
Yeah, so like
That was on the.
Sase Woman, La Paz.
Yeah.
Was that La Paz?
Cool.
Yeah.
Like how they managed to get them in place.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, there's
it's
a
just
red rock
phenomenal.
that's really hard that they carve. The black rock is lava,
Yeah.
and they carve that with this red rock.
And then I want to go to Patagonia. So we had that eclipse, and then 2 years later, that was in Chile, in northern Chile. And then 2 years later, there was another eclipse that was going to be in southern Chile.
Yeah, right.
And I actually had my flights booked for that to go to the eclipse. And then after the eclipse, I was going to fly down to Punta Arenas,
Yep.
the very south tip of South America, and then drive up to
No, Patagonia's further.
to drive up to Patagonia from there.
Yeah, all right, I'll stop. You guys.
You're okay.
But the airlines kept canceling my flights and would tell me to rebook at a different time. And I had the thing set up to where, you know, all the timing worked out perfectly, that, you know, I get to one place and then go to the next place. And so they started butting my airlines too close together to where I wasn't going to make the exchange.
Yeah.
Plus I was worried about my COVID passport and stuff like that, so I just canceled the trip.
Yep.
But there are 2 more eclipses coming up this October and next April,
Right.
and they're both in Texas.
Okay.
And my brothers live in Texas.
There you go.
And so I have a cabin rented for both eclipses,
Yep.
the same cabin
Yep.
at the place where the line of the 2 eclipses cross each other.
Wow.
So I can be in the same location and be on the center line for both eclipses.
Nice.
And it's across the street from a state park.
Cool. No lights.
Yeah. But it's a solar eclipse, so
Yeah, well, there's that one in 2017.
17, the one that went across America.
Well, there's one in Australia in 2019, and we sat in the very north of Australia. We're doing a 7-week trip, and I sat out. It was like at 2 a.m. There is no light shear, and in this particular place, there is not a space between the stars. Like at night, it's white.
Oh, you're talking about a lunar
It was
eclipse.
a lunar eclipse.
Yeah.
So and the moon, the lunar eclipse, the moon looked like you could reach out and touch it. It was incredible.
Yeah.
I sat outside in a sleeping bag in a deck chair till 2 a.m. to watch it.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It took forever. But, you know.
After about halfway, we went, yeah, I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, we had a 4x4 in a trailer. And we went for 7 weeks in the outback. So, you know, Australia is bigger than the continental US.
Yeah.
So it takes a week and a half to drive to the top. So we did that, and then we were 7 weeks on the road.
I went to Perth.
Yep.
When I was in the Navy, on our way back from the Persian Gulf, we stopped off in Perth.
Yep.
And I had been in some discussion groups on Yahoo
Yep.
for astronomy.
Yep.
And I remember that there was a guy in the group that was from Perth.
Yep.
So I sent him a message and I said, hey, you know, I'm coming into Perth. So he arranged to pick me up in Perth and drove me out to the countryside in Fremantle.
Yep. Yep.
And got to look through his 14-inch telescope
There you go.
at the Tarantula Nebula in the
Yep.
Large Magellanic Cloud,
Yep.
which is, you know, those 2 galaxies that you guys can see with the naked eye down there. That was amazing.
Yeah, well, that's by coincidence, that's the other place that this World Surf Ski Series runs. So I've done.
Oh, Margaret River.
Well, no, right at Fremantle.
Oh yeah.
So the race that's just come from Molokai, or the Molokai race it's called, there's one called the Doctor, and it goes from the island just where you would have gone past on the way into the
Oh,
Navy
so
dock.
you're not talking about surfing. You're talking about
No,
those
this is long surf.
those boats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like you have the OC the one single outriggers.
Okay.
You know, you see the single canoes with
Yeah.
the little outrigger.
Yeah.
So our skis are that without the float,
Right.
like a single. You know,
Okay.
long 21-foot kayak.
Yeah, you know what's weird is just the past couple of days, I've been watching videos on that on YouTube. It's just the algorithm has been off. I watched one and now I'm getting a bunch of them.
Yeah, right. Well, there's if you look at Molokai, the Molokai surf ski or the Molokai World Champions Super Surf Ski race, it's all about these paddlers that paddle across the channel. So there's the outrigger race, paddle race. You know, the Hawaiian canoes.
Yeah.
Across the channel. There's a swim across the channel.
Yeah.
And then there's this surf ski race across the channel. Well, in Perth to Fremantle, there's one across the channel there.
Okay.
I've done that 10 times, and
There's that island out there.
Rottnest.
Yeah, with all the sharks.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, there's sharks everywhere in Australia. Where there's no sharks, there's crocodiles.
Yeah, when I was there, me and my buddies, we went to Scarborough Beach.
Yep.
And they were boogie boarders. They went boogie boarding at Scarborough Beach.
Yep. Yep.
And they offered for me to use their wetsuit to go out there. And I was like, nah, because we were on our way to the one on the East Coast.
Yep. HMAS Penguin.
No.
In Jarvis Bay.
No.
The Navy base.
No, we were going to be stopping off. I just can't remember the name of the town, but we were going to be stopping there, and it was going to be warmer water. And I was like, nah, I'll wait till we get there.
Not Brisbane.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was Brisbane. And to get there, we were going to go around the south side of Australia.
Yeah.
But then the captain decided not to do it because they had done that like a couple of years earlier, and they got into a big storm. And like parts of the aircraft carrier got ripped off.
Wow. Yes. Yeah. On your left. Yeah, right.
Like one of the
It's
stanchions.
rough. That's rough. That's some of the roughest water in the world.
Yeah.
Down there.
One of the stanchions that had that machine gun, the R2D2, the rapid fire machine gun, got ripped off of the ship.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So we didn't go to Fremantle. We stopped in Guam though.
Wow.
But I just wasn't in the right mind to enjoy Guam because we were on our way back from the Persian Gulf, and I was just
Get me home.
really melancholy
Yep.
and just kind of just hung out at the Hard Rock Cafe by myself.
Yep.
But I did go back to Guam a couple of years later for another solar eclipse.
Yeah, wow.
And the morning of the eclipse, I went snorkeling by myself out on the reef. It was amazing.
Yep.
Within the first 10 minutes, I found a huge octopus.
Yep.
And then I just hung out with the octopus for a while, and then I went out, and then there was these schools of these little shiny blue fish that weren't shy. You could just swim right in the middle of them.
Yep. Yep.
And then got back to my hotel and watched the eclipse from the balcony of my hotel.
There you go. You right there, boss? What's up?
Because I called ahead and had them book me a room facing the direction of the eclipse.
Yeah, right, nice. I'm giggling out.
Where are the kids? Are they ahead of us?
And just, you know, oh, it's waterfall. I'm like, cool. And I was like, you think your towel was appropriate. Anyway, let's go give it a go. I just keep walking with a hunk of bamboo. Like, this is my fly sweater.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, keep the mosquitoes off. Yeah, because, you know, I was afraid she was going to hit people in the eye.
That might be the COVID, you know.
Oh, that's like, yeah, I've seen the skit where the woman designs the dress that, like when you're riding on the Japanese trains, they get a problem with the guys getting too close to them on the train.
Yeah.
And so the dress senses when somebody's too close and it expands like an umbrella.
Yeah. A bit like that picture, isn't it? Like the race, could beat everyone.
Wow, I've seen mosquitoes, but I haven't had any bite me yet.
I haven't felt any.
Yeah.
Not to say.
I can still taste the bug spray on my tongue.
Keep your mouth closed.
One of the kids was, remind me not to lick my arm.
Yeah, that was Harley.
That's our crazy son.
It's like a river going down the middle of the trail.
What position were you in the Navy?
When I was on the aircraft carrier, I was in E6, Petty Officer First Class.
Yep.
My job that I was trained to do was to work on the electronics, but there was too many people in the shop that I was assigned for,
Right.
especially too many people that were of the same rank as me.
Right.
So for the first cruise, they sent me to supply.
Yep.
I worked in AMSU where we inducted all of the equipment that was coming in for repair.
Yep.
We would do the paperwork for when it was coming in.
Yep.
And on my second cruise, there was a guy that they assigned to look over the guys in the galley on the mess decks.
Yep.
And he was doing a really terrible job, so they fired him and sent me to do that job, and then they gave him my job.
I didn't think you could get fired in the Navy. Obviously, I've never ever heard of someone doing a bad job until then in the Navy. But I guess I've never thought about it.
Yeah, I mean, there was no repercussions. They gave him an easier job.
Yeah. I guess you don't want to do that, you just do it badly. I'll get you out of there.
So, that job was sitting behind a desk and just, marking things in a computer as they come in.
Yeah.
And then, sent me to go be in charge of 18 kids that didn't want to be there because they had also got sent there from their shops.
Yeah.
Because those jobs aren't billeted.
No,
They just take a couple of people from each division and send them there.
Yeah. Righto, you're on potatoes, you're on peas. Yep.
Yeah.
You're on sausage.
Yeah, we weren't the ones that cooked it. We were just the ones that cleaned the mess decks, the tables, and made sure all the condiments were full, and the drinks, and the ice, silverware plates.
Yeah.
And they would tell us, your job is critical because
The crew gets sick, ship goes down.
Yeah, that plus, this was like the one enjoyment that the crew had was being able to sit down to a decent dinner. And so if we spoiled that, there's 3,000 people a day that came through our galley.
Wow.
There's 5,000 people on the ship, but there's a different mess deck for the officers. So we had the enlisted galley.
Wow. Yeah, right. So everybody really doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, and we were in the Persian Gulf too, and so we had to control the ice.
Yeah, right.
We had the ice bends that the guys working up on the flight deck where it was 120 degrees. They'd come down for their ice to put into their camelbacks. And So how much longer are you guys here?
We were on the Pride of America on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
For a week. And then we get home.
Yeah.
And then we're home for 4 weeks, honey. 5 weeks, and then we're going skiing for a week.
Skiing? Oh, wow.
It's winter at home. So we have tiny little ski hills. So we've got a lodge that we go to, and that's a week. So try and get some construction work done before we go, so that I can do some work. And then
we get a lot of tours from the Pride of America when they come in on Saturday morning. A lot of the people's flights aren't until like 8 p.m. 10 p.m. So we pick them and their luggage up from the ship, give them a tour of the island, and then drop them and their luggage off at the airport.
Wow, that's great. That's a great service.
Yeah, see, we're kind of awkward. Our flight home was like midday,
Yeah.
and we just went, you know what, if there's any delays, if there's anything wrong, we're then got troubles with our flight, so we're actually just staying at the airport hotel.
Oh, okay.
On
Like,
Saturday night.
on the Saturday night, so when we get back,
fly
we
out
fly out
Sunday.
Sunday. But
Oh, okay.
Grant and Kai, they fly out at 9 o'clock Saturday night. So yeah, so they could have done that. They could have gone, oh yeah, we'll go and do another tour or go and do something else.
Yeah. So where do you go skiing at?
Out of Sydney, it's about a 5-hour drive south of Sydney.
Okay. Is that the Blue Mountains?
No, the Blue Mountains is like it's exactly an hour west of Sydney. And the Blue Mountains are like, they're like this mountain behind us, you know, they're small.
Oh, okay.
So they're more like a canyon.
They're canyon. So Australia is sandstone, so it's old, very, very old, like hundreds of millions of years. Archaeology.
Yeah.
You know, that geomorphology of that area.
Yeah.
So it's sandstone. So sedimentary sandstone.
Yeah.
What's happened is when it's been pushed up, it's obviously there's canyons and that kind of stuff. So the Blue Mountains is relatively low, in fact, like 3,000 feet.
Kind of like our Appalachian mountains that used to be much bigger, but they've been eroded down over time.
Yeah. So then, so the Blue Mountain, it's beautiful. It's great hiking. My parents have a small piece of land that they go camping. And my father's built a little kind of trailer tiny house. So that's the Blue Mountains with the ski hills.
We have unique
So
terminology.
the eastern coast of Australia, there's a mountain range that goes all the way up the eastern coast of Australia, and the highest point is kind of down the south.
Okay.
So it'd be, I don't know, it's a 4-hour drive from Melbourne. It's about a 6 or 7 hour drive from Sydney.
And so you ski or snowboard?
Ski.
Okay. I snowboard.
We can do both, but well,
I know, kill myself.
so you know, because I surf, wakeboard, snowboard, skateboard, whatever.
Yeah.
But teaching our son, it was easier for me to teach our son to ski from 4 years old than it was to teach him to snowboard.
Okay.
So I just had him skiing between my legs. So he's going to be 13 in February. He skied at Steamboat Springs in Colorado when he was 4.
Nice.
Learned to ski there.
Yeah,
So
he doesn't know how lucky he is.
he doesn't know how lucky he is, this kid. I'm kind of like, should I get back on a snowboard?
I tried it because the boots looked more comfortable. But then,
Snow's just not good enough for snowboarding. Like it's just icy, hard packed.
Yeah, when I went to Colorado, our first day we went to Crested Butte, and it faces west into the sunset, and it was very icy.
Yeah, right.
But the next day we went to Monarch, which faces east, and it was just kind of like a bowl, and it was more powder, and it was just really quiet.
Yep.
So I've been back there a couple of times.
So we did have a great trip to Utah a couple of years ago, and we skied at snowbird, snowbird, really high, and after Easter.
well, I think we were lucky. They had a really good
Really great
spring
season, and we were
dump.
skiing they were still skiing 4th of July. Anyway, so snowboarding's on the agenda.
Check out these orchids.
They're beautiful.
Purple, blue. Yeah, I saw recently where, like in Montana, it was just snowing just recently.
Well, we actually had snow in the mountains in December.
Yeah.
All the locals are a bit annoyed. Where's the summer?
Yeah, so it's mountain biking in summer, and there's only a 12-week ski season. So it's what we have is a June long weekend, middle of June through to September, end of September, and that's the 3 or 4 month ski season. So
So in Washington State, just south of British Columbia, there was a place that I would go over there, Mount Baker. And then there was another place, Stevens Pass. Stevens Pass, we went night skiing. That was so cool.
Yeah.
And then in New England, up in
I know.
New Hampshire or Vermont, Cannon and Bretton Woods.
Yeah.
We went in the day at Cannon, and this I think the same day, but at night at Bretton Woods.
Yeah, yeah. Nanny's still dry. Oh, she's gone.
Yeah, she's probably undercover somewhere. We'll probably have to go inside and find her.
Yeah, so Harley wants to snowboard, and we water ski in summer, so he's just started wakeboarding. So he just like kind of got up twice last summer, and then kind of was like, I'm trying to tantrum, I don't want to do this anymore. So
That's cool. I've never tried that. My brothers have.
if you go like you can snowboard, you wakeboard straight away.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different, you know, because you're a little bit. It's like snowboarding in really deep valley.
Yeah.
And that obviously with some strength in your arms. She is under a tree.
Oh, here. I thought she would have been inside the building. Maybe she's just anticipating us being back.
Shop closed.
Oh, the shop was closed?
Yes.
You got kicked out.
Well, no, it wasn't open.
Oh, well, it hasn't been open at all.
No.
Oh.
That's the shop, but they've got like a little cup
Righto.
I could bring the van around. Yeah, that's fine. It's vinyl seats.
But your body will water will go away faster. Did you record it all?
All right.